The top 5 most popular primary weapons to be using in Season of the Wish. What are they, where do you get them, and why should you be using them? That's what we're going to be going over in today's video, Guardians. And there is one weapon that didn't make the top 5 list, but I think that it definitely should be in the top 5, so I'll be going over that as an honorable mention. And if I fail to mention any of your favorite weapons that you guys are using in Season of the Wish, definitely let me know what those are down in the comment section. But just so you know, these choices aren't my opinions. These are actually facts that I got from a website called Destiny Tracker. So these are literally the most used weapons right now in Season of the Wish. And with all that being said, there's nothing left to do but sit back, hit that subscribe button, leave a like. Now let's get into it.
Yo, it's time to subscribe to Paid to Be Famous. What are you doing?
Subscribe to Paid to Be Famous.
Subscribe to Paid to Be Famous. Like the video, come on.
Hell
you know
yeah.
the drill.
Button.
And slap that like button.
Woo! Hey.
Now the number 5 spot goes to the Epical integration, currently sitting at a 1.52% usage rate. It is a legendary solar energy hand cannon, adapted frame firing at 140 rounds per minute. If you guys want this weapon for yourself, you guys need the Lightfall campaign, and you guys are going to actually have to complete the Lightfall campaign. After you complete the campaign, go back to Neomuna, kill some things. You're eventually going to get a quest called Parting the Veil, and right here on screen I have a list of all the quest objectives for you to make it easier to figure it out. But essentially at the end of that mission, you're going to receive this weapon. Now this weapon doesn't have random rolls. It comes with set perks, comes with small bore, ricochet, keep away, and stats for all in the first column, and Eye of the Storm and incandescent in the second column. Keep away, Eye of the Storm, really good for PvP. Stats for all and incandescent is really good for PvE. Incandescent being the main selling point of this hand cannon, which is why this has such a high usage rate. Solar builds are very, very good in Season of the Wish, so any weapon with incandescent on it is going to be doing really well for you. It also has a couple of origin traits, Harmonic Resonance, which is going to give you faster handling and reload speed when you equip this weapon and any weapon from the Root of Nightmares raid. And then it also has Nanotech Tracer Rocket, landing multiple hits, turns your next shot into a homing rocket. And there are mods on the artifact that help with the Nanotech Tracer Rockets, so that's really good. All in all, a fantastic hand cannon. Definitely pick this one up. Coming in at the number 4 spot, we have the Zaouli's Bane. This is currently just beating out the number 5 spot at a 1.53% usage rate. This is also a legendary solar hand cannon, and it's also an adaptive frame as well. If you guys want to pick this up, it's going to be a bit harder to get because you have to get a raid team together because it only drops from the King's Fall raid. But the upside to this is that there are random rolls, and it's also craftable, so you can craft the exact roll that you want. Here's a list of all the perks that it can roll with. But if we're being honest, there's really only one perk combination that you guys want, and that is Explosive Payload paired with Incandescent. Now the Explosive Payload perk, the explosion actually deals 30% increased damage in PvE, and there's no damage fall off. And like I said before, Incandescent is one of the best perks this season because it scorches targets, causes them to explode. You pair that with the Solar subclass, which is very, very good in Season of the Wish. And if you were interested in taking this into the Crucible, I would say go with Opening Shot and Eye of the Storm. Both of those are going to increase your accuracy and range. And this weapon does come with a basic origin trait called Runneth Over. Finishing a reload overflows this magazine from reserves by 10% for each ally within 15 meters. So if you're playing raids or playing dungeons, basically any activity where you're not solo, you're going to get an increased magazine, which is really nice. This has been one of my go-to hand cannons this season. Since it's a legendary weapon, you don't have to waste your exotic slot on it. I highly suggest you get a raid team together and get this weapon for yourself. Now next up on the list, we have the Quicksilver Storm Auto Rifle, currently sitting at a 1.56 usage rate, which is very well deserved because it is really good. Now if you want to get this weapon for yourself, currently at the time of making this video, according to LightGG, it is still a pre-order bonus, aka you have to purchase Lightfall to get this. Once you purchase Lightfall, you'll be able to go and pick it up from the Cryptarch at the tower, which is kind of unfortunate because this gun is literally pay to win. Like I said, according to the list, this is the number 30 third most used primary weapon, and it's like that for a reason because this weapon is very, very powerful. But if you want it, you're gonna have to cough up some cash, so that is literally the only downside to this weapon. Quicksilver Storm is an exotic kinetic weapon, but once you complete the catalyst for it, it actually turns it to a strand weapon. It's a 720 RPM auto rifle, has the exotic perks Rocket Tracers and Grenade Chaser. Rocket Tracer states that landing multiple hits turns your next shot into a homing micro rocket, so it's exactly like the nanotech tracer rockets. And the other exotic perk is Grenade Chaser. Landing multiple rockets loads a grenade, and you can get up to 3 grenades. So once you get them fully stacked, you hold down the reload button and it turns this into a grenade launcher. And the grenade launcher does a massive amount of damage. Really easy to take out champions with this thing. And in Season of the Wish, there's actually Overload Auto Rifle, which is another reason this weapon is doing so well in Season of the Wish. I know this weapon being pay to win really sucks, but like I said, it is really worth it. If you like playing Destiny 2, what are you doing? You should have Lightfall anyways. I think it's definitely worth it. You guys should pick this up. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we've got the Polaris Lance Exotic Scout Rifle. Arguably the best weapon to take into Grandmasters this season, mainly due to the fact because it can deal with anti-barrier champions and unstoppable champions all in one weapon. If you guys want to pick this up, you can get it from the exotic kiosk at the tower. This comes with the exotic perk called the Perfect Fifth. Precision hits return ammo to the mag, landing 4 precision hits. Load a delayed solar explosive round to your next shot. Now, there are artifact mods this season that states landing precision hits make you radiant. Once you're radiant, you can break the shields of barrier champions, and this weapon will actually scorch and ignite unstoppable champions, getting them to stun due to the artifact mod. This is currently sitting at a 3.42% usage rate, which is very, very high up there. You don't need to do any raids or dungeons or anything to get this. Like I said, just head on over to the kiosk and pick it up. If you're not using this weapon this season, you guys are doing it wrong. Definitely pick this one up. And now for our honorable mention, we are talking about the exotic bow called the Wish Ender. And a lot of you guys, including myself, are probably shocked that this is so low on the list and didn't actually make the top 5. This is actually sitting at a 1.21% usage rate, but in fact, this is a very, very good weapon. Now, the reason I think the usage rate on this is so low is because it's not a random exotic drop and you cannot get it from the kiosk. This is still tied to the dungeon over in the Dreaming City. I believe after the first time you complete the dungeon, you get a quest and you have to go back in there, do some things inside of the dungeon, and then you can acquire this bow. And not a lot of people have done it, which is why the usage rate is so low in my opinion. But don't let the percentage fool you. This is a very, very good exotic bow. Arguably one of the best in the game. It's an exotic kinetic bow, and it comes with the exotic perk called Queen's Wrath. While aiming down sights with a fully drawn bow, combatants behind walls are highlighted and arrows pierce shields, strong against barrier champions. You can pretty much just one-shot a barrier shield in a Grandmaster with this. And the reason why this is so good is because it takes primary ammo, not special, not heavy. You just have unlimited shots with this, and it deals a hefty amount of damage to those champions. I highly suggest you put a fire team together, jump into that dungeon so you can get this bow, because it's very good this season. And if I'm being honest here, it's good in any season. Now we have reached the end of our list at the number 1 spot, and you probably guessed it, we're going to be talking about the Sunshot Exotic Hand Cannon, currently sitting at a 3.65 usage rate, the most popular primary weapon in PvE right now, and for good reason. It's an exotic solar hand cannon. The Sunshot is pretty easy to obtain. It's been in the game since the launch of Destiny 2. It's currently a world drop, so anytime you get an exotic engram, you got a chance to get this. It comes with the exotic perks Sunburn and Sunblast. Sunburn states that this weapon fires explosive rounds and highlights targets that take damage from Sunshot, and Sunblast states that targets killed with Sunshot explode into solar energy. The explosions from Sunshot can clear entire rooms. It's an exotic primary, so this thing does like 40% increased damage against red bars, and not too long ago, all hand cannons got buffed in PvE, so it's doing even more damage. And any kill that you get with the Sunshot explosion has a chance to chain to nearby targets, and if they die by that explosion, it will chain to another target and just keep going and going. Like I said, you can clear entire rooms with this thing, and there's not much more to be said about this weapon. This definitely deserves the #1 spot. And with all that being said, that is going to complete the list here for today. Let me know down in the comments if you like this type of video. I don't make many videos like this. I usually just cover one weapon in a video. But if you want more videos like this, like top 5 PvP weapons, top 5 special weapons, anything like that, let me know down in the comments. And if I missed a weapon that you guys use a lot in Season of the Wish, let me know what that is down in the comments. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.